This is possibly Real Madrid's toughest week yet this season. First of all, we play Los Franjirojos this weekend, Rayo Vallecano, the team that currently sits in 7th in La Liga. They are really going for those European places, so they're going to be a very, very tough game, and it is a Madrid derby. Then, another Madrid derby, possibly the toughest game of the season so far. Atletico Madrid away, Metropolitano, Champions League night. Oh my gosh, people. This is such an exciting match, and I cannot wait for it. We really need to advance to the quarterfinals and face Arsenal. And then, finally, Villarreal away from home. The Yellow Submarine, always going to be another tough match, competing with Bilbao for that last Champions League place this season. And for me, that is another really tough game. So those 3 games I'm covering today. Now, first of all, let's go with Vallecano. For me personally, when I look at this match, it's a very good momentum builder for Atletico Madrid. Yes, Atletico Madrid do play Getafe away, which is always going to be tough for them as well. 2 Madrid derbies this week. It's electric in the city. Trust me on this one. But for me, when I look at this game, there needs to be certain players that stand out, namely Mbappe, namely Vini, and namely Rodrigo. Those front 3 need to get their boots in order before we play Atletico Madrid. Yes, the last game in the Champions League wasn't really a showcase, a showpiece for those three players up front. But for me, when I look at this game, there has to be standouts, and those 3, yes, they need to get their goals. They need to get motoring to face Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Vallecano are always going to be tough, guys. They do maintain a very, very good possession-type play with the ability to counterattack and have high intensity also. So when you look at Vallecano and the serious matter that they need to get into those European places, they're going to be going for this match regardless. So a Madrid derby, always a very tough occasion. And same for Atletico Madrid with Getafe as well. And then, of course, guys, that leads me on beautifully to Atletico Madrid. Now, the first leg of that match, the stadium euphoria got to me. I have to be honest, it got to me. Yes, we got the win, but that's what happens on Champions League. Look at Barcelona, look at Liverpool. Exactly the same situation where you have to get the win no matter what. And we did. So it just alleviates the excitement in you. But for me, level-headed this time, away from home. I'm not going to go to the Metropolitano, but away from home, we're going to be having to literally contain them. They're going to be coming out at us immediately. If we can catch that first goal, then we have a serious advantage across that match, because they're going to have to then score 2 or 3 or whatever, trying to beat us to reach the next round. And I really want to see Real Madrid perform like they did in the second half, control the ball well, not allow Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, they like to sit deep and then counter. So we need to literally do the complete opposite. So control the ball, but if they do get it, just literally sit deep and hit them intensely on the counter with pace and directness. No messing around. Look at the times this season, the only one that I can remember, Man City essentially, where at home we really did the job completely with Mbappe absolutely smoking in that game. But this is the occasion that everyone in that team needs to rise up to. I'm looking at Valverde at right back. He needs to start this game. He needs to start against Vallecano. He needs to start against Villarreal. Every single game he needs to start. Honestly, unless it's maybe a lower league team that we feel maybe Vasquez can be put in there so he can give Valverde a rest, because right back is a very demanding position. You're constantly going to be facing up against either Griezmann or Lino or Alvarez or whatever, because I think Atletico Madrid, they like to freely move. You saw the way that Alvarez cut in from that side against Camavinga. Valverde was just behind him and he just lasered a shot past Courtois. So this is a must-win, draw game. I don't care how we get it, as long as we do, because Atletico Madrid are probably one of the toughest teams that we're going to face in the Champions League. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Liverpool are tough. Arsenal are a tough team. I'm not going to just bypass that completely. They're going to be a very tough opposition if we do get through. But this is an absolute result-based game. If we get that draw, if we get that win, then you know what? Ancelotti, applaud. Madrid derby, one of the toughest prospects that you can face in the Champions League. And then, finally, Villarreal. Honestly, the way they're going on and the way that they are trying to get into those European places, they're competing with Bilbao here. They are literally just neck and neck. Yes, Villarreal a couple of points behind Bilbao. But for me, when I look at the grand scheme of things and obviously their fixtures coming up, I think they could be there neck and neck with Bilbao. So they need to really get a results against Real Madrid, Like Betis did, like Betis are doing this season, they also will play that similar. They will also be on the front foot because they're at home. They need to be. Real Madrid are going to be on the back foot. I'm sorry to say this. We're going to be in the back foot that game. But we need to be clinical with our chances. But also, Real Madrid need to be thinking hard and long about La Liga because I don't know if it's in the back of their mind somewhere, but they're not really taking it seriously. They're taking the Champions League more seriously. Is this an Ancelotti ploy to get Real Madrid players fired up for the Champions League? Because I don't see the same intensity in La Liga. I'm sorry to say it. I don't see it. So Villarreal, the tomorrow's game against Vallecano, we need to see the same level of intensity that we're seeing in the Champions League. Yes, Champions League, the players are always going to rise up. It's Real Madrid. We're going to be rising up for the Champions League regardless. That's what happens. Look at the countless seasons before. Look at them, guys. Bayern Munich, Manchester City. You see, these kind of games, Dortmund, random results in the final. Bloody Leipzig. Just trying to get the result and maybe control the game to a certain point where we can actually get the result. So, Real Madrid are a very tough game. It's a very tough team, to read. They're very tough to read. I don't know what kind of Real Madrid we're going to expect. We can expect the worst Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Will probably won't be likely because of Champions League. But we can expect the worst Real Madrid tomorrow. We can expect the worst Real Madrid against Villarreal, So, for me, when I look at it, it's very tough to read the team and how they're going to play 1 week after 1 week after 1 week. Is very clueless. I don't know. They're not consistent enough for me. They're not. The Champions League table placing, if Real Madrid was serious about the Champions League in terms of that time, then we would be in the top 8. We would have been in the top 8 already. So it would have been easier for us not trying to play another match against Man City and then go into the main knockout round. So I don't know, man. For me, it's very tough to read Real Madrid. We are a very loose team sometimes. And I could see lapses in concentration tomorrow. I could see lapses in concentration against Atletico Madrid. I could see lapses in concentration against Villarreal. The toughest week of our season so far. And it's going to be mad because Atletico Madrid, they need to focus on Barcelona as well. But Atletico Madrid mentally, I think, are more there than Real Madrid somehow. I don't know. Simeone's just drummed them into it. So Ancelotti needs to do the same. He needs to really just get hold of the players, grab them by the scruff of the neck, quite literally, and say, look, be serious about this match. And that's the kind of aura I think that Zidane brought as a manager. I'm going to be honest. Zidane commands respect. Yes, Ancelotti does as well. One of the GOATs in managerial history. But Zidane commanded that respect. You see him in the halftime exchanges with the players, commanding the respect from Ronaldo, commanding the respect from Bale when they were playing Juventus in that final. Just commanding it, guys. Not allowing them to get loose or misconcentrated or anything. Because Ancelotti, yes, he may have a laid-back approach to certain things. But when I see him get angry and I see him demand standards from the players, they start performing. That's what happens because you can see it. Atletico Madrid, half-time, the players came out and completely bossed the game from the start of that halftime to the last minute of the match. They completely bossed it, controlled the football, and didn't allow Atletico Madrid to get sniffed. That's what we need to do consistently. Yes, Real Madrid are not going to drum up 15, 20 chances a game sometimes. They're maybe going to get 5 and score 2 goals, whatever. But that's how we need to play, guys. We need to be a serious team. We need to be motivated to go for every single competition. And then don't forget, in a couple of weeks' time, more or less, we got the Copa del Rey against Sociedad. And Sociedad, you saw how stinky they play against Man United. So we need to be on our game, honestly. And I want to do more of these videos because there's something about Real Madrid that's not right with me. It's not sitting right with me, unfortunately. So guys, take care. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below, like this video. Honestly, I've put a lot of emotion to this one. So guys, I'll be at, obviously, the Bernabeu tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't have a ticket, so I won't be going to the game, but I will be watching in a bar across the road and then doing a match reaction outside the stadium as well, guys. Okay, so take care, have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.